So we get into the state of the nation conversations this morning, and to help us do that, communication strategist as well is Dr. Barrack Muluka, and he joins us this morning. Good morning, Barrack.
Morning, Dale.
How are you doing?
Great, Dennis.
Salam sana, good to see you.
Good morning.
Morning.
I love your outfit.
Yes, I must support you sometime.
Oh, thank you.
This was given to me by Baba.
Which Baba?
Baba himself.
Olusegun Obasanjo.
Yes.
Really?
Oh.
I'm not surprised, because what he's given you, is this the full outfit? I don't think so. There's other parts of it.
He told me that I can
You can play around with it.
Yes, because what you're wearing is made up of what is called the agbada.
Yes.
And the agbada is made up of different parts. So this is called, in Yoruba, it means voluminous or flowing robes.
Okay.
So you're wearing just part of it this morning. You're not wearing the full
The
thing.
great commander of the Niger.
Yes, what you're wearing actually right now is called the awoshoke.
Voilà.
Awoshoke part of the agbada. It's fascinating stuff. Dennis is lost. Yeah.
Agbada. I should try that on.
You should.
All these days, yeah.
You should.
Yeah. When are you going back to Nigeria?
We'll talk. It might shock some people if we say the truth now.
Yeah.
Is she supposed to go back?
Sorry?
Is she supposed
To visit and bring me my. You said it's called Olo?
Agbada,
Yeah,
the
agbada.
full outfit,
Yes.
because then there's this part, then there's the inside, then there's the cap. All of it makes up the agbada.
Yes.
Yes.
Baba told me that I can don pieces.
You
from
can
time to
exactly.
time.
That's the thing. You can wear it in pieces. Welcome, Dennis. Interestingly enough, this week has gone to Ghana, and we'd love to hear your interpretation of this one.
And in Ghana, we talk about Kwame Nkrumah, and Ghana being the first country in the continent to gain independence. And there's one thing he said, that if we have independence and that does not translate to the other African countries, it would not make sense. Talk about the Pan-Africanism at the time, and if we've managed to achieve the dreams that he had. Have we? You'll respond to that. But let's go to the proverb. The rain wets the leopard, but it never washes its spots.
Yeah, the spots are permanent. They are immanent. Not eminent, immanent. You cannot remove them. They are essential, quintessential, and they cannot get out. And no matter what we do about certain situations, certain individuals, certain characters, it is impossible to change them. Some people are unteachable. They are incorrigible. They are decidedly what they are and who they are. And there's nothing you can do about them. They are education proof.
Oh wow!
Lost cause.
Okay.
Well interpreted.
Indeed. And I have a feeling that might line our conversation getting into the next hour. But we're looking into the state of the nation. And Parliament yesterday was in uproar over a number of things. They said, first of all, this Ebola thing, stop it. With a lot of words, basically said, stop it. And then they said also, this thing for schools where there's unrest, boarding schools, stop it. I mean, because we're getting to a place where things then are ungovernable. And that there's something happening and we don't seem to be listening. While the politics could be playing a back role in all of this right now. There seem to be fundamental issues that need to be dealt with from a nation's point of view. How are you seeing things currently, or are these just bumps in the roads that we'll get over at some point?
Thank you very much, Andrew. Thank you, Dennis, and thank you, viewers and listeners. I think if we were to use one word to describe the state of the nation today, we would say anomy. We are in what Wole Soyinka has called the season of anomy, a season when nothing that seems to be right seems to be done, from Wajir to Laikipia to Naivasha, to the National Assembly. We are in a season where the sense of belonging is at its lowest, the esprit de corps, as the French would call it. And this is, I think, fundamentally because the William Ruto government has embraced a spirit of impunity, a spirit of hubris, the great pride that comes before the great fall. Hubris, arrogance, where we are here. Who are you? A few people may make noise out there. The Cabinet Secretary for Finance is calling the protestations of the citizens noise. I'm saying protestations, not protests. The protestations of the people of Kenya. The voice of the people is the voice of God. You must listen to it, no matter who you may be, no matter how you imagine you got there. The great Sani Abacha thought that he had gotten there through the barrel of the gun and he could do it his own way. And eventually the gods conspired against him and removed him when he thought that he was enjoying his life. And Chinua Achebe in Things Fall Apart has these masked egugus. And the lead egugu is called Evil Forest.
Yes.
And he asks a certain character there, do you know me? And almost rhetorically, he says, I am Evil Forest. I kill a man when his life is at its sweetest. Okay? That's how the divine world works. And when you look at these things, and you might think that we just making some random noises. No, there is a very clear interlinkage in the affairs of men and the gods. Sani Abacha departed when his life was at its sweetest.
Indeed.
And you can find out how he died. Now, the hubris, once it has taken possession of you, you imagine that you are indomitable, that everyone else is useless, that they are stupid, that they have no sense, they have no intelligence, they have no agenda, they have nothing to tell you. You become the Titanic, the unsinkable one that must ultimately sink out of its own energies. And you can see that in the comportment and the pronouncements of this government.
Barrack, then want to ask the question, when you talk about sovereignty of the people and what that means, that in my basic understanding is fact that we are able to make decisions that favor us as a people. That regardless of whoever is there, the most important thing to protect is sovereignty. And that would mean that your people are able to afford life, pretty much. Cost of living should be affordable to everybody. Should be able to just go to school, and that is affordable because the government has played its part. Walk to a hospital, I'm treated. That I am not living in a perpetual experience of pain, turmoil, and confusion. One asks the question then, Barrack, is it lost to them that they are part and parcel of the people of Kenya and that sovereignty belongs to them?
When power has gone to your head, you don't see anything. It tampers with your capacity to hear sense, to absorb wisdom, and to act in a manner that is good, not just for everyone else, but for you as well. When we talk about sovereignty, and I think it's important that we contextualize it within the spirit of Madaraka, because we are still in the Madaraka season. The entire month of June is the month when we reflect about our Madaraka, our self-determination that came to us in June 1963, that we got into that space after the Lancaster House activities, where we eventually secured the right to self-determination, that we are going to make our own decisions about the destiny of our own country, how we rule ourselves, how we behave within our polity. And this coming against 43 years of colonial rule, 1920, 1963, and another 15 years of British company rule, 1895 to 1920. Self-determination, our sovereignty, a sovereignty which the Constitution of Kenya says that it rests with the people. The people are supreme, and the Constitution belongs to the people. When the voice of the people says that we do not want this Ebola quarantine facility for Americans, by Americans in our country, then the government must listen, because this is the sovereign voice of the people. You cannot tell us that there is a certain act of parliament that says that you are a minister, and as a minister you are going to take certain decisions regardless of what the people are saying, and that you're going to call the voice of the people random noises. These are not random noises. And that you will even shoot some of those people in Laikipia, and they will die. You will bring out the people's military against the people. You bring out the people's police against the people to tear gas them and to beat them up. That is inversion of power, inversion of constitutional authority, because the people have a right. And in this particular case, we are talking about a huge paradox. The paradox of the government of the United States of America stating that we will not admit into America anyone who has been exposed to Ebola. We will find other places that are more suitable for locating Ebola, and we will have those cases attended to in those spaces. And our country is defined by the Americans as the place where we should locate Ebola and deal with it. Never mind that they have got all the technology. I was watching Edwin Dwale, not just performing in Parliament, but performing elsewhere on TV, and boasting about that which he calls our technical and capacity. Who in this world has greater technical capacity in anything than the great American empire, the United States of America? They're just saying this is muck. This one here is far too big for us to handle. We don't know what it is, and it had better be located elsewhere. And we seem to go out of our way, we angle for it, we reach out for it, and we say, bring it here.
But why? And I think that's my question. That what is this thing that hangs over like the hangman's noose? That it's very clear, the danger. It's clear, it's present. That anybody who was applying logic would understand that this is a threat. That Kenya, with other diseases, has been very cautious about how it deals. So what is it? Because it doesn't seem to make sense. What is it beyond the disease? Is there somewhere that Kenya is being held? Is there a conversation that has taken place? Is there a demand that has been made for Kenya to want to insist, well, at least certain parts of the government, that even Americans have questioned their government and said, we are able to take care of people on home soil. Why give it to another nation? So there seems to be something beyond this, because it doesn't make sense otherwise, Barrack.
The saying goes that where there is smoke, there is fire. And I would be tempted to put this to our omnivorous appetite for money. When you have heard of 1.7 billion, we have not been told what this 1.7 billion is going to do. We have not been told whether it's going to the national treasury. We have not been told whether it's what is going to be used to put up this center. And make no mistake, the initial pronouncements from the United States of America were very clear, Marco Rubio, that this is about America. That they are putting up this center, this facility themselves, for themselves, not for anybody else. And therefore, we cannot possibly be told that the 1.7 billion is going towards the construction of that facility. We cannot be told that that facility is a dividend to the Kenyan nation. We must wonder about the individuals, the Kenyan individuals behind this initiative and what is in it for them. At the individual level, we must be told what it is. We must also interrogate the initial secrecy around it. I expected that during the Madaraka Day address in Wajir, that His Excellency the President was going to pronounce himself on this matter that was troubling the nation. He didn't say anything. I expected that the sequence, and the Constitution is very clear about the need to know, the right to information as a public constitutional right, that I would have expected that the government of Kenya would proactively, even in its own interest, go out to tell Kenyans that in the wake of this scourge in the Great Lakes region, as part of the measures that the government of Kenya is taking, we have entered into dialogue with the government of the United States of America, and we propose to set up a quarantine center within our republic, and float it even as an idea. If you so wanted. And
let's agree what it would look like,
what
kind
it
of
would
thing.
look like. Even affect to be giving the nation the opportunity to hold that conversation around it, and have it even being floated by some of the senior officers in the Ministry of Health. If you want, call them even junior officers, but senior really in rank. The Ministry of Health test the waters, find out what Kenyans are thinking about it, and if you find that that kitchen is too hot, retreat. And retreat in a dignified manner, in the sense that you have left some space at the top for retreat, that the minister could even be the one to retreat, protect the president. In the game of chess, the king is always protected. Send out the pawns to be the ones to say what you think needs to be said. They can be disowned. You can say, no. The director of medical services is saying his own things. Or that was the PSS personal opinion. But what do you say when the president himself
Said I allowed it.
says, I allowed it? You have exhausted your chances. The king makes only one move. You don't keep on gallivanting across the chessboard when you are the king. You are protected. The queen is protected. You have the rookies. You have even the bishop who may make a couple of moves. So, what has motivated the king to make all these moves?
They say follow the money, Barrack. But the king spoke, Kenyans have spoken. And from all walks of life. You listen to any doctors in the country and they say, it does not make sense that you would import a disease that has never been recorded in the country. We gave it to the governments that have been there before since the 70s. We've never recorded a single case of Ebola. Here we are, the people have said, no, we don't want this. The doctors have advised you not to do that. The government is for the people, by the people. The government does not exist without the people. But how far removed is the leadership that we have today from the realities on ground about the people it is working for?
In the little volume titled The Trouble with Nigeria, Nigeria is a metaphor for Africa. Today I'm flowing in the
I can see.
Nigerian spirit.
Yeah.
In the little volume titled The Trouble with the Nigeria, and Nigeria being a metaphor for Africa, Chinua Achebe talks of the African president as a person who does not live in his country. And he qualifies. He says, these people are physically in the country, but they are not in the country because they do not know what is happening in the country, what the people are thinking in the country. They are barricaded by notables and grandees who mislead them all the time. And I think it's not just within the African context. It happens elsewhere in the world that the iron-fisted ruler will have around him or around her people who keep on saying that is noise, that is nonsense. That is why Marie Antoinette will stand on the balcony and ask,
why are they making noise?
Why are they making noise?
Yeah.
And she will be told, oh, they do not have bread. They're protesting because of bread. And she will say, oh, if they don't have bread, why can't they eat cake? And she's not being sarcastic in any way. She does not know what is happening. Somebody who is truthful and who can reach William Ruto should reach him and tell him, Mr. President, they are lying to you. You are seated in a very precarious place. And this Ebola might as well be the last straw that's going to break the camel's back. That you had better listen to the voices of the people, the sovereign voice of the land, and retreat. To retreat is not weakness. To retreat is often tactical. President Moi used to retreat. And, you know, when Moi came to power in this country, I was a young man. I had to be away from university because I went to university the following year. And a lot of us flattering ourselves with the thinking that we were becoming part of the educated intelligentsia had a certain sense of being almost dismissive, basically on President Moi's modest formal education. But he had a lot of other education, a lot of wisdom. When he called himself professor of politics. It was not because he had gone through the academies and they had given him the degrees and the certification that go with that. It was because he understood how the polity works. The need to recognize that the polity, the nation, is a live thing, and a live thing cannot be bottled up. Yeah. It must be allowed to ventilate. It must be allowed a bit of pressure to come out. But Ruto and the dwellers of this world are bottling up the country under a lot of pressure. You just need to shake it a little and drop it, and it will explode. So listen to the voice of the people. Drop the hubris. The Americans cannot arm twist you in this season of Madaraka when we are celebrating 63 years of sovereignty, so that a bug in their citizen whom they cannot take to their shores gets to be domiciled here. We are speaking of a situation where a country has cancelled pre-existing medical agreements, health agreements with Kenya, with Africa, that USAID has gone away, and that the impact of USAID going away is being felt on the bodies of the people of this country. That those were the pre-existing covenants that we need to interrogate. When you've been talking about this thing, has Donald Trump also said he's restoring USAID? Are we going to continue getting the support we had for ARVs, for HIV and other conditions?
Because if we're going to talk about support, it might as well go across board,
yes,
isn't it?
It must go across the board.
Yeah.
That the family planning contraceptives that used to come as part of that package, that the personnel, the healthcare personnel that the United States of America withdrew from Kenya, are they coming back? If it's not, then the agreement that William Ruto has with Donald Trump is the agreement of partnership between a horse and a horse rider, where the United States of America is the horse rider, Kenyans are the horse, Donald Trump is the horse rider, and William Ruto is the horse. And we refuse to have a situation where our president becomes a horse being ridden by the American president.
The abrogation of sovereignty is usually not hidden, that you can tell exactly what's going on. And that where we see, the Duale's counterpart, in this case, Dr. Oz in the US, basically saying, yes, we understand that there's a little bit of a kerfuffle there in Kenya, but we're going to sort that out. And this is in light of the fact that the court, a high court in Kenya, has pronounced itself and has given conservatory orders to say that this will not continue. Now, sometimes you may get it twisted that the judiciary is the abandoned stepsister of government. It isn't. That there are three arms of government who operate at par: the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive. Not one is higher than the other. So it seems as though the judiciary is often ignored. Like, okay, the little sister is saying something there in the corner, but, let's ignore her and continue doing what we're doing. So much so that another country also is doing the same thing. That if the US court were to pronounce itself on something, other countries would bow in obedience. But this seems to be the opposite. Who has allowed this to happen? Not just by folks in the country, but others outside the country are also seeing that your laws, because you ignore them, can also then be ignored.
Absolutely. And the buck stops at State House. This is William Ruto, His Excellency the President. We put him there to protect our country. The sword that we have given him of the Commander-in-Chief is not for cutting vegetables. It is for protecting our country, especially against external pressures and influences. This is our space. This is our little corner in the world. This is the landscape that we call home. That you can oppress us anywhere and everywhere else. But when we get into this little corner that we call home, that we know home as home, then we stand tall. And no matter how titanic you may be, how great and powerful you may be, keep your powers to your shores and to your spaces. Issue visa cancellations and bans against us, but leave us alone to enjoy our sovereignty here. And even if you push us to the corner, like you push a rat or a cat, we will fight back. So when you look at the courts, our courts pronouncing themselves, and you say, oh, there's a little fracas, it is insolent, it is patronizing, it is unacceptable. Small we may be, but small in our space, in our little space. Wait for us in your space, and then you can treat us the way you want. So this discourse keeps rotating back to the question of, if they cannot accept their own citizens who have been exposed to Ebola, why should we be the ones to accept? The United States, the global North generally, is very protective of its citizens.
Yes.
Yep.
A small thing happens somewhere and they issue travel advisories to their citizens. And even now, as we speak, they have issued a travel advisory
Against Kenya.
Yeah.
And they're issuing the travel advisory against Kenya because of their own exporting of Ebola to our country. You push that thing at us, it gets into our space, and then you tell your people, don't go there. It is now a dangerous place. Be careful how you navigate yourself within that space. Can't we even just see the irony in all this? And I think Kenyans would be willing to stand very solidly behind their president and to defend and protect him were he to be put under any kind of pressure or threat by no matter which powerful nation in the world. If he was doing the right thing for the country, we would all stand up and say, no, Mr. Trump, you can't do this to our president. Kenya is not Venezuela. Hey.
You come and abduct
can arrest the president.
You know, when you look at Kenya in our smallness, but the power that we give the president, one would say anyone who has such power would do each and every single thing to protect the people. But one asks the question then, what makes the president forget that? What makes the leadership in general forget that part? What does the American government have over the leadership to a point where you forget your role as leader of a country? Is there more to this than meets the eye?
I don't think that there is a leader anywhere in the world who can force the hand of another leader, sovereign leader in the world, unless first that other leader, the one whose hand is being forced, is conflicted. You must first be conflicted. You have worked yourself into a tight corner that you cannot retreat, that you have made certain concessions. You know, when they invite you to the White House and they cause you to sit in the Oval Office, not just on any seat, but the president's to test it, to feel what it is like. The leather there, the quality, how so different and superior it is. We don't know what concessions you have given.
Yeah.
We've been asking, for example, that let the details of this covenant that is importing Ebola into our country be made public. And we are being told, no, it is very sensitive. We cannot. We have a right to know.
Yes.
Sensitivity about ourselves as the sovereign voice, the sovereign people of the Republic of Kenya. We have a right to know and let it be published, but it can't and it won't be, because I think there is a conflict, and conflict of interest, I think, is the biggest challenge in government and governance in Kenya and Africa. You get to the high office and you forget immediately that you have gotten there to serve the people, that you are in service. You get there and your teeth become like the teeth of a rodent. You are testing every object in the environment to see whether it is edible. You're finding this one is plastic, this one is ceramic, then this one is sponge. Yes, we can eat this one. You keep on still going back to the ceramics, and you find no, they're too hard. You are depressed, wondering what you could do about your teeth so that they could eat also through the ceramics, and we become a rodent nation. We become huge fat rats that want to eat everything in the landscape. And that being the case, therefore, we start getting compromised. And people will always tell us, you remember this, you remember that. And so we are not there to serve the people.
Is this indicative of what is possible in the future? Because, I mean, if you can do something like this, where the danger is apparent, for, you know, a check of however much, it seems then indicative of what could happen in the future. That, I mean, the highest bidder could come along and then you could, pawn off anything. Is that a danger that Kenya faces, or is this just a one-off situation?
We're probably going to see a lot more of this. One of the things which we have to give this government is that it has got the optics of being a favorite of foreign powers. It has done well with the global north, especially. President Macron was here the other day. We have seen us being favorites in the United States. We are in the good books of the British and many others, of Japan, of China, of Russia. We seem to do very well with them, with Israel. And so we can't tell what we are not being told about all these agreements, covenants, and displays of amity, what really lies at the foundation. But where government then fails to recognize that it needs to carry the people along, it needs to be persuasive, it needs to talk to the people, then the hubris sets in. Chest thumping sets in. The Minister for Health goes to Parliament to lecture Parliament and to thump his chest. He goes to national TV to lecture the nation. The President, His Excellency the President, tells the Kenyan nation, yes, President Trump called me, and when he asked me, I okayed it. It would appear that he did not even allow himself to process the thought. Sometimes when people ask us some very heavy things, we say, can you give me a day or two?
To mull over it, yes.
Yes, to process it, to think over it, to seek counsel, to seek advice. Who among his myriad advisors did President William Ruto consult? Was he advised? How well was he advised? Was Dwale asked to talk to his experts in the health ministry to hear their opinion? The various doctors, entities, were they consulted? If they were, why are they protesting now? It's clear that they were not. And I think it can be very difficult to serve in certain offices where decisions are made and then you are sent out there to go and justify them, to apologize, to explain to the public why those things are so right.
Barrack, Kenyans know what they want and what they don't want. And that is a clear departure from what the leadership seemingly thinks the people want. But what then must be done for Kenya to speak in one voice, leadership and the people, to be in the same room and move forward? Is there even room for the leadership to be with the people and speak and listen? Or is this far gone?
I doubt that the present leadership has capacity for retreat. It lacks both the ability and the proclivity to advise itself to retreat. But in the end, leaderships will come and go. And I've been around long enough to know that leaderships come and go. And we are the anthills of the savannah. Grasslands. I told you today I'm flowing in the Nigerian spirit. We are the anthills of the savannah grasslands. You know how it happens in the seasons of rains. You talked about the rains. The rains come and the grass becomes green and lushy, a good verdant landscape, and the tendrils dance to the tune of the winds. And after some time, the sun starts coming out and the grass begins drying up. Then it dries up completely, and the forest fires come naturally. And they burn up the grass, and lo and behold, we see that underneath have been anthills, and the anthills know what has happened to the grass. Then after some time, the rains will come again, and the new grasses will come up. They will sprout and they will grow, and they outgrow the anthills, and the pattern of dancing in the wind begins again. If only the grass could speak to the anthills, the anthills would tell the grass what happened to the grass of the last season. So we are the anthills of the savannah grasslands, and we are telling the current grasslands that you're not the first. In the end, there is people power, and the people power will always prevail.
It's interesting that you say that, because the current president wants to come and have another go at the presidency, and that what we are hearing today from different quarters, interestingly enough, somebody like Martha Karua, who said yesterday that you're going to have to listen to what the people are saying in order for you to have a position, or to be in a position where they will give you another go at it. You would imagine that the current president, if he wants to have another go at it, would be very careful about the things that are done in this period. But that doesn't seem that he's throwing caution to the wind with some of the things that he's pronounced, especially in the recent past. Is that the voice of somebody who's listening to the people, who wants to have their input in terms of how they would maybe bring him back?
His acolytes have told us that it doesn't matter, that we as matter, than Yoweri Museveni. We are smarter than Samia Suluhu. And if Samia Suluhu got 92%, William Ruto is going to get 100%. They're telling us that they have got templates from the neighboring countries in the region. Beyond that, they can go to Northeastern, open up the floodgates, distort history. Distort history, because the things which were being said in Wajir about sessional paper number 10 and trying to incite that part of the country against the rest of the country is historical revisionism that fails to recognize the truth of the history that happened in that part of the country. But maybe that's a conversation for another day. We need to talk about the irredentism that took place there, the Somali nationalism, the Ogaden issues, the Sead Barre intervention. Never mind. We are talking about a regime that seems to have given up on the possibility of being elected, and that is now starting to signpost other avenues of retention of power, telling us in broad daylight that we are going to stuff the boxes, maybe so that we can stay away. I don't know whether that's calculated to generate apathy so that we stay away, or maybe with the intent that we will actually stuff the boxes. Now, you see, that also signals illegitimacy for William Ruto, regardless that he wins fairly. The country will believe that the election was stolen. And he should go very cautiously about that, because you are talking about a nation on the tenterhooks. And you could even win. And the people can say that we don't accept you.
Briefly, Barrack, how sick then is the state that Kenya finds itself in when you talk about education, cost of living, security, rule of law, disrespect of court orders, and the decisions that clearly expose Kenyans to disease that you've never had?
We remain in a difficult place in the season of anomy, as we said at the beginning. We would hope that the ethical and moral pillars of the nation remain intact, and they will speak to Ruto, and that Ruto may now have the opportunity to prove that he does not just wear an evangelical mask, that when he quotes the Bible, it's not just a facade, it's not just an ecclesiastical mask he wears, and that he can hold a conversation with himself, with his soul, and that he might find a genuinely divine moment when he knows and recognizes that the voice of the people is the voice of God, and listen to that voice.
Well, sometimes conversations open up folks to realities and bare insights, and possibly opening up people's eyes to the realities that are the current state of things, then onto action. Barrack Muluka, thank you for joining us this morning.
Welcome.
And looking forward to a time where people will actually take conversations and engagement that we have and then apply them to current circumstance of where Kenya is at the moment. And this is one to watch in terms of what will happen in the coming days. And this Ebola quarantine center facility is a symptom that we speak of. There are other issues that definitely need to be dealt with.
Thank you.
Dr. Barrack Muluka has joined us this morning. Thank you very much for doing that. Continue with our conversations. Good morning.
This is The Situation Room, the only way to start your day.